All right, there we go, everybody. Welcome to Christmas Eve. Curiosity Public here. Just with Dutch tonight. That's it. Just me. Nobody else wanted to come hang out, so I'm all by myself. But I'm not really, because I got all you guys to hang out with tonight. So please drop a comment, say hi. I'm going to put a little question here so you can drop a question, answer a question of what's in your glass tonight. And let me pin that. Put it to the top. So as you guys trickle in here, you can let me know what's going on with you. And tonight, I've got a couple of bottles I've been wanting to crack into. These two bad boys right here. Four Roses limited edition small batch. And I will be opening these two, sampling them, and then we have a ton of other unopened bottles, like a ton. You know, we do these live streams and we get through maybe like 2 or 3, and we've got literally like a bookcase over here. It's probably got about 3 shelves. It's just packed with unopened bottles, and some of them have become irrelevant maybe and just aren't that interesting, so we never got to them. And some just kind of get lost in the shuffle back there. And I grabbed a few kind of ones that I think are kind of interesting, and we'll get to that after I get through these two. So we'll do these 2 bourbons, and then I've got to choose from. I'll run a poll a little bit later. Some tequilas, some scotches, some rums, and some brandies. So I will put those 4 categories up for a poll when I'm done with these 2, and let you guys decide what I should pick, and I'll show you the options. And then I'll pick between the options, I think. I don't really know what I feel like yet, so it'll be kind of fun. And yeah, I am going to check in with you guys really quickly. I'm getting warmed up here, warming up the palate with this bottle, the Four Roses Small Batch Select, just to kind of get my mouth palate in the Four Roses wheelhouse. One of my all-time favorites, as some of you may know. It's just light, it's brighter. It's got that floral component that comes through. And yeah, let me check with the chat real quick, and I'm going to get these poured in a second. So let's see who's in here. We got Dave is in the house. Just Dave. Thank you for being here. Drinking the 2XO French Stave. How are you liking that? I only tried the first 2XO that we did. I think we reviewed it back when it first launched, and I always thought it was fine. I don't know how any of the other releases have been, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. We got Peter sipping on the Four Rose 125th. This is the 135th, so you got an old one there. I've got a decent collection of these. I've got 2017, and then from 2020 all the way to 2025. And so once these get opened up, next time we film, which actually is looking like we might be able to film next month, which is awesome. We'll do a drink through of 6 different iterations of the Four Roses limited edition small batch. Eliam has got Johnny Walker Blue. WT70117 says, "Where's Dylan and Jules?" You know what? For these live streams, it's a crapshoot who I can get. Jules is usually pretty good about showing up. Dylan, it's maybe once or twice a year we get him for a live stream. He's just that busy, you know. All right, Dalton's sipping on the San Matias Extra Añejo. Jules is the glue that binds things together. I agree. If it was just me and Dylan, it would be the worst content on the internet. All right, Bully. Four Roses single barrels are probably the best bang for your buck at $45. Such a good profile. Love the OESO. Haven't cracked open my 25 LE yet. Oh, look at that. Richie Z in the house. What is up, man? Glad you are here tonight. And got a mod. I was worried. I was like, by myself. What if I screw things up? But I've got a moderator to help out, which I always appreciate. Thank you, Richie, for being here. Jeff Perkins in the house. Nothing in the glass yet for Richie. Lee has got Yamazaki 1250 ml bottle. Need more ornaments on my tree. I saw the Discord post with the that's a great idea with the Yamazaki 12 mini Christmas tree. That's just great. All right, Reed's got Glenmorangie Tale of Ice Cream. Jay Wetzel's got the Midwinter Night Dram. 'Tis the season. Yeah, that is a nice winter pour. All right. So the XO, which one was it again? Sorry, 2XO French State. Okay. It's a decent daily drinker. Don't pay more than $45.50. That's kind of how I feel about all of the stuff that I've tried from the brand, which is it's good, it's tasty, but not worth any kind of markup. All right, Jason's in the house. All right, I'm gonna get these poured because I want to let them open up a little bit. And I'm gonna pour them both. I'm not sure what order I'm gonna sample them in. I'll probably just go back and forth a little bit, but I've got the 2025 here and the 2023, which was the 135th anniversary bottle. So I'm gonna label my glasses here so I don't get too confused, because it can happen, especially when you're tasting whiskey. All right, let's pour this 2025 real quick. Give you guys a little shot of the bottle there. This is the 2025 release, limited edition, small batch from Four Roses. This is 2025 up there at the top. Proof point on this bad boy is 54.5. They usually release to the press, at least. There's usually info out there about the specific makeup of each batch. I don't know what this one is. I want to pour it in the wrong glass. We did do a review of last year's that ended up on the Bourbon Guild channel. Surprise, surprise. If you didn't know that, or if you're not still subscribed or you don't know what that is, you can check it out. Just go to the Bourbon Guild YouTube page, and we did a review of the 2024 with the Bourbon Guild scoring system, which we kind of all forgot. Here's the 2023, the 135th anniversary, 54% even on that. So close proof point on these two. And I did try this back in 2023 there was a whiskey event in Vegas, and Four Roses was there, and I got to sample it, and Brent Elliott was there, and I was able to tell him that I thought it was tasty. So I remember liking it a lot, but I don't always fully trust my memory from whiskey events because it involves trying a lot of things, and honestly, your palate's not in the best shape when you do that way, and your memory gets a little fuzzy too. So these two are poured. I got the 2025 here. I'm gonna let these open up another minute and take one more sip here of the small batch select, and then hydrate a little bit, and then check in with you guys again. I should have asked also if anybody has plans to crack open anything special tomorrow on Christmas Day. So if you guys do, drop that comment as well. Okay. Let's see. Where were we here? All right. No Baxter. Noob Haxer. Okay, got it there. Merry Christmas. Drinking some Yoichi. Awesome. Took me a while to figure that out. I don't know why. WT7017 is JMCB just for this live. Joe, the sample guy's in the house. Merry Christmas. Peter says, I found the 135th, like most of these need a little time. Yeah. I also think that it's always been a release for me, these limited editions. It's like really focused on subtlety and kind of more delicate flavors. And I think they don't do very well in blind tastings, and yet every time I have them by themselves and I spend a little time with them, I really enjoy them. It's a lot of flavors going on and really cool stuff. So yeah, we'll see how they do. Okay, so wait, what is this? What batch? What are we talking? What is JMCB? Well, why am I not putting this together? What is it, like Johnny Walker or Jack Daniels? Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend. Is that okay? That must be what it is. Okay, it just takes me a little while. Which batch? Interesting question. Yeah, I have one bottle of that, and I've tried a couple. It's never particularly grabbed me, so I'd like to know how much batch variance there is. So if you guys had a batch that you thought was excellent, it'd be interesting to hear that from you all. And maybe I'll eventually try one. All right, Twinkie123 says hello from Jalisco. Hope you all have a great Christmas. Likewise to you. I am ready to get into this. So they could probably use a little more time, but let me check out the nose here. Let's start with the 2025. Let's do the nosing first, give it a little more time. Oh, wow. That is so nice. Oh man, the floral component, the sweetness is right underneath that. It's bright. It's not grainy at all, which I love. There's a little bit of like a sweet syrupy smell to it as well. A touch of the more caramelized sugars underneath that. But that floral component is just so nice. It just kind of layers on top. And again, something that like can get lost, I think, pretty easily if you're smelling a bunch of things or going back and forth. All right, let me try the nose on the 2023. Like I just said, going back and forth between things, but you know, these should be pretty similar DNA, so it shouldn't mess me up too badly. Interesting. The 2023 is a little bit muted compared to the 25. Let's see how much blown out. Let's see how much blown out my nose is. Yeah, there's a little bit more of the caramelized sugars coming through in the 25. The 23 is just as floral, just as bright, but the sugars are also a little bit brighter. They're not quite as dark. And there's almost like a savory component to the 23 that I don't really pick up on the 25. So interesting. I'm going to jump right into these in just a second to make sure. Yeah, there we go. Just checking the stream here in YouTube as well. Okay, guys. Merry Christmas Eve to all of you. I hope that you all have had a great year so far. And if you're not celebrating, then I hope you're having a great Wednesday anyway. And at least getting some time off from work. And if you have plans for tomorrow, let me know what's going on in your lives. It's always fun to hear. All right, 2025. Let's see how this one is. Wow. That is much oakier than I would have expected based off the nose. Huh. It's balanced. I don't get a ton of sweetness. Let me give it a second sip here. Yeah. Decent amount of oak. There's not a particularly luxurious feel to this. It almost gets a little tannic towards the end, but the finish kind of clears up. So like the last third of the palate, the oak really swells. But then the finish, it tapers off. It doesn't become overpowering. It's nice. I think as it opens up, I think the sweet flavors will come out a little bit more, and I think we'll get a little bit better balanced. And yeah, we'll see. I'll leave it out here, and I'll obviously keep trying it as the night goes on. But let's give a quick taste to the 2023 now. Okay, less oak on the 2023. Man, the oak really lingered from the 25, so I feel like it's messing me up for this. Let me take a second sip here. It's a little bit better balanced, I feel like. The 23 is, at least at this stage, the sweetness and the spice are more prominent than the oak, and they're nicely balanced. The 25, the oak is kind of overpowering. These really, really feel like they need to just get a little more air in them. That's kind of what my initial reaction would be. Neither one of them out of the bottle is like transcendently amazing. But let's go back to it in a second. Let me check on the chat here. And actually, while I'm doing that, let me run my first poll here. And I will be spending a little more time on these, but I want to give you guys time to answer the poll. Oh, I'm trying to remove the pinned message, and I don't know what I did. I just screwed something up. But anyway, let me try to run the poll here. So let's see. The question will be, what should I crack open next? And we will do, we got tequila, we got brandy, we've got scotch, and we've got rum. So take your pick. Let me know what you want to see, and I'll let it go for at least a few minutes, and we'll take it from there. So chat, what are you guys up to here? All right, WT says, I cannot believe I'm on the live. I really like the video guy where you guys made a video of the meet and greet at the bar. By the way, that was amazing content. I wish Dylan had a live mic. Giving Dylan a live mic is dangerous. I'll just say that. Yeah. So Bamboo the Cat says, I think batch 45 of Magnus Cigar Blend is fantastic, but it's the only one I have. I've heard the older ones, like when it first launched, people really, really raved about it. And I have one from maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. So I don't know. I'll have to give it a try again. Maybe it's opened up. JM Murray Hill Club is way better than the CB. JM Murray Hill Club is way better than the CB. Oh, we're talking about that acronym I couldn't figure out before. And then I did figure it out. Joseph Magnus Murray Hill Club is way better than the cigar. See, I don't have any help here. I gotta like parse these things myself. I don't know, man. I really like the Murray Hill Club. I guess I'm with you on that. Like to me, the cigar blend that I've tried wasn't that interesting, but the Murray Hill Club was nicely balanced, very good sipper. So I don't know, man. I never really got that brand overall. Richie says, Dutch, did you get one of those Still Austin Tangers? I missed it by hours because I was working. I did not. I didn't even know anything about it, dude. Let me know. Let me know the details on it. I still need to go back and revisit some Still Austin stuff. I don't know if I just got a bad bottle, but it did not do it for me. So I need to try some more stuff from them because I keep hearing people that know what they're talking about say it's great. So, Murray Hill Club is good, but I don't know about that. Can't really go wrong either way. Yeah, I need to try it again. I mean, the bottle I have of the Murray Hill Club is probably from like 2018. So I have no idea how it's evolved or changed. All right, let me go back in here. I'm going to try these guys again, and then I'll set them aside and come back to them at the end of the stream and see if anything's changed. Oh, man, the nose is getting even better. This is a 2025 here. Let me check in on this poll. Oh, everybody wants Scotch? Actually, I put a little question on the Instagram post for this live stream, and there were a couple of people that did ask for Scotch, so I guess I'm not surprised. Yeah, this nose on this 2025 is just incredible now. The sweetness has come through a bit more. The floral component's still there on top of it. Smells great. Okay, give it another try here. Wow. I mean, the oak is kind of the prominent flavor here. It is balanced. It doesn't get tannic. The sweetness is picking up a little bit as it opens up, and the overall balance is really improved. But it is definitely, it leads with oak. It leads with that woody component kind of from beginning to end. The finish, it doesn't get overpowering. A lot of bourbons that are really oaky, the finish just, it goes crazy and it turns your mouth inside out. It can be really off-putting. But This does not do that. It kind of lets up right at the last third of the palate, and right as it kind of gets into the finish, and you're left with kind of a sweet, slightly oaky, lingering set of flavors on the palate, which are really, really nice. That's quite tasty. It's the volume is picking up too, like the body is getting better as it opens up. Yeah, I completely agree with you, Jason. It's always Scotch for me, honestly. It's always like a really sherry heavy Scotch for me. That's kind of where my head always goes for Christmas time. All right, let's give the 23 a taste here. See how the nose is very similar. I mean, it hasn't changed, similar to the first time when I smelled it. I think overall the nose, 25, I prefer the nose by far. Nose is a little muted here on the 2023. They're still muted. A little bit more sweetness coming through as it's opening up. It's in that light fruit, not really cooked down fruit, bright fruit. Okay, let's try it again here. It doesn't lead with the oak. It kind of leads with that bright fruit. I think it's the order. I should have started with the 23, honestly. I think the amount of oak that's on the 25 is kind of messing me up for the 23. So when I come back to these at the end, I'll try to remember to do the 23 first. And I do think when I come back to these at the end, they're going to be even better, because I can already tell between my first sips, whatever it was, like 10 minutes ago, and this one, it's improving. So I think both of these bottles will, get immensely better just with the air in it now and allowing it to kind of continue to evolve. Good. All right, I'm going to set these aside, and we'll get ready for what I call phase 2, which is the second. I don't know what I'm talking about. Second pour of the night, or I guess third technically. And the poll appears to be pretty resounding that it's going to be Scotch. And second place would be Tequila. I'm going to leave the poll running. Or maybe I'll make a new poll. Because we'll go with Scotch, but now I'm going to do a new poll for the final pour of the night. And what should be the last pour? And that will be between Brandy, and it could be cognac, it could be not cognac. I've got two different brandies here. I'll just tell you, one's a cognac, one is not. And I've got two rums, so rum is the other choice, and then the third choice will be some tequila. I have a feeling tequila's going to win that, but maybe I'll do a fourth one. Maybe I'll do one more anyway, and I'll get to pick that one. Okay, so what am I going to grab for Scotch? You guys can respond in the comments if you have a favorite out of these. I may or may not listen. But I grabbed 3 that I've been wanting to open. I'll tell you what we got. So we've got a Old Particular single malt Glenturret 17-year. It is a sherry puncheon, a refill sherry puncheon, and single cask. And the proof point is, ABV is 55.8. That's that one, Glenturret. And we've got the Lagavulin cask strength from 2021. Now, if you remember our Vegas videos, this is the one, I think Dylan bought this while we were at Resorts World. And there was a guy that worked in the Wally's at Resorts World. He saw us walking by while we were filming, ran out, and was like, "You guys got to check out the shop in here." And he took us into the shop at Wally's, and Dylan saw this and bought it. At least I think that's this. I mean, that's my recollection, but I could be wrong. We might have opened that one, and this might just be a backup of that. So there's that, and then we've got the Enoch Rascan, however the hell you say that. A Raskin tool is used to break up the top level of rough ground and prepare the land for peat harvesting. So this is going to be peaty. Distilled, matured, bottled in Scotland. 11.1 parts per million. I don't know what the proof point is on this one. I don't really know anything about this one, but there it is. There's the Enoch. It's not focusing. There we go. Raskin. Let's look at the bottle. I think it's just peated Enoch. Wow. That is, I was not expecting to see that. I always think of Enoch as being a little more sherry influenced, but that is very, very Ardbeg looking bottle, isn't it? So anyway, ABV is 46, 92 proof on this. Non-shell filtered. Natural color. So those are the three options. I've got the one I'm leaning towards, but I'll look at the comments at least. I may or may not listen to you guys. But, let's check on the comments then. Okay. Where are we here? Scrolling up. Actually, let me try to see if anybody. Okay, so somebody says Lagavulin for sure. Glenturret Indy. Glenturret looks cool. Anybody else have a comment on that? On what to pick? No. Good. I think I am going to go for the Glenturret. It just feels right. I'm not like, I don't dislike peaty scotches, but I'm not in that mood right now. I'm in the sherry scotch mood. Again, like I said, holidays, I've been cracking into my Spey malts that I have. I have 3 different ones that look like this. I didn't crack into this one, but these bad boys are my go-to kind of holiday, wintertime, Christmas time drinks. And I have 3 different ones. I think one of them's like a 24-year-old, one's a 21, and one's like a 19. And after trying all 3, I was just shocked at the fact that I think I preferred the 19 to the other ones. Just kind of one of those weird things about the way the flavors develop. And of course, those are single casks, so cask variants too. But yeah, I did not expect to walk away from trying all 3 of those and preferring the youngest one. Peter says, would be more interested in the Glenturret as I've had the other. Okay, so I am going to do the Glenturret. Appreciate all of you guys that commented in on that. We'll save these for a scotch, a peated scotch evening maybe. Jules loves the peated scotch, so maybe I'll do that when he's here for one of the lives. But yeah, this is an old particular. It is a refill, so it may not be. Let's see, we got more info here. Single cask was distilled in March 2004 and bottled in October 2021. Yeah, I generally like Glenturret. I've tried a bunch of Glenturret. A good friend of the channel was working the Glenturret booth when we went to one of the whiskey shows in London, and he poured us a little bit of everything. Tried the 30-year, tried all kinds of amazing Glenturret stuff. So big fan. Here's, let me show you guys the bottle before I open it. Got a pretty good color to it. Looks nice. Old particular is, I think this is one of Dylan's bottles, so thanks for the Christmas present, Dylan. Give it a taste. In just a second. All right, let's let that open up and breathe a little bit. Check in with all you guys in the chat here. Okay, gotta scroll. Gotta scroll a lot. Okay. Texas whiskey is not my thing. Haven't tried Still Austin. Yeah, it is not overly Texas. I agree. Compared to like Garrison Brothers and Balcones, maybe like. I just want to try some more of it. I got like a weird kind of chemically note on the Still Austin cask strength that I have. I can see the bottle right there. And I don't know. It didn't. That was off-putting enough for me that I couldn't rave about it. But yeah. Okay, Richie says, seems like a more bourbon night, but Scotch is great. Diz Image says, greetings from PA, sipping on Old Forester for the evening. Currently through 1910 and Statesman onward. Nice. We recently cracked back into our bottle of Statesman during an episode. We did, this is a little teaser for those of you that are hanging out on Christmas Eve. We had the 2025 birthday bourbon, and instead of just doing a fresh crack solo episode, we did a drink through of a bunch of the birthday bourbon bottles that we had leading up to cracking open that 2025 one. And for good measure, we just grabbed the Statesman, which we've always felt is the one that kind of shares that general flavor profile, but it was an interesting episode. It'll come out in the next few months. I don't know when. Scotch or brandy. I agree. Is the Mac 12 110 widely available? It is quite available. Check online. It is. There's a number of shops. I think Venmo actually still has a lot of it available, even if you do Venmo for shipping. So you can use your coupons and all that stuff for Venmo and get it shipped to you if you're in California. I think Richie is, but yeah, and the price is. I think they actually have it for right around MSRP. So yeah, it's a good bottle. You know, I think all of us kind of felt like it could have been better. At least I felt that way, but still very enjoyable and a fun one for sure. I bought backup, so I mean, I did like it. Yeah, big old cherry bomb or Armagnac, totally a bourbon kind of night. Yeah, I think it's like, I don't know, whiskeys feel right on this time of year for me. I don't know why. Peter says, I had a sample of Glenn Farkless 1990 family cask the other night, off the scale, amazing. Those family casks are awesome. I've tried a bunch of them. I've had some of the ones from the 90s too, and they're just, it's so good. And it's still like, if you think about what you're getting, the price point on those really isn't bad compared to a lot of other sherry heavy Scotch. So for Richie, the ultimate Christmas Scotch was Glenmorangie Signet or the Glendronach 21. I'm out of both. That's a bummer, dude. Yeah, that's good. I mean, the Signet is a very nice special occasion Scotch. Same thing with the 21. So great choices. And that's actually what my Christmas present to myself this year was, this bottle, which we cracked during the last live stream, which is the Glendronach 1993 28 year. And it's, yeah, it was good. I will probably crack into that tomorrow. Let's see, where was I here? Okay, so you got the old 21. Yeah, those old 21s, man, they're fantastic. Let's see, scrolling down here. Peated Armagnac. Love that Wally's. They always have some gems to buy and taste. Yeah, it was really nice. Like their selection and the prices were not bad at all. I've been back there maybe once since then, but I need to go back. I'm going to be back in Vegas soon anyway. So, let's see. Everybody's talking about Scotch. Dutch, the storm is hitting again here in NorCal. Yeah, we had it. It started to hit here earlier today. It was raining like crazy, but it's like it's warm in San Diego. Like I looked out this morning. It was like cloudy, rainy. I walked outside and it was quite warm. So it's not cold, but stormy. So I'm not complaining. Storm was bad, and so yeah, it rained a lot. It rained a lot here. It was super windy too. Still Austin has that artificial stage, artificial chemically flavor. Don't think that's avoidable when you rapid age brew. Okay, so maybe that's just something that I picked up on because it was there. Hey, look at that. Dylan's in the house. Or at least Mr. Dylan's in the house. What's up, dude? You should have joined the live stream. You can do that remotely, you know. I'm opening your Scotch, by the way. This is your Glen Turret Old Particular. Okay, you guys cracked into 21? Yeah, we did. We did film another episode. So much like that Old Forester birthday bourbon episode I just talked about, where we did the fresh crack in a drink through, we did the same thing with the 21. We had the 12, the 15, the 18, and then the 21 fresh crack. So We threw in a couple of other Knob Creek bottles into that one, and I'm so mad that I forgot one that I had in my house that was probably my favorite, which is the 25th anniversary. And yeah, the TLDR is that you have to watch the video. I'm not going to spoil it. Stuck in traffic in the rain. So you're in the rain, in traffic, and moderating a live stream. That sounds very safe, Dylan. Oh, man. Can never go wrong with Glendronach. Bringing a bottle of the 27-year-old 21 to Christmas tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, man, those old 21-year. So I feel like the last year that it was apparently high age, what was that? Was that 2022 or 2023, around there? That was also the year that they stopped putting not chill filtered on the bottles. And the one I have from that year, which is, again, supposed to be the oldest, didn't taste quite as good as the other ones. I don't know. I need to find that one and compare it again now that it's been open a bit longer, because we have maybe 3 on set here from various years with more age on them. But yeah, I don't know if they did filter it and it just was not as good or something. I don't know. Reed says, Merry Christmas, Dutch and everyone. We are spending the next few nights in Portland, Oregon. How's the weather up there? It's curious to hear. 54 in chat. Yeah, kindly hit the like button. Thank you. A lot of the real Glendronach heads always said that last year before the shutdown, the cask quality suffered a bit. Okay. Interesting. 2022. Yeah. Okay. So that matches with my experience as well, because I bought that last one. And I think I bought 2 or maybe even 3, because I was like, oh my gosh, this is the last year. It's got the most age. And I remember cracking into one. I was like, oh, this isn't as good as the last one, I think. So I never tried them side by side, but it'll be an interesting thing to do one of these days. All right, let's try this old particular 17-year-old Glenturret nose. Okay, shifting gears here. Wow. There's a lot of sherry on this. But it's very bright. Like, it's not a really syrupy smelling, thick, jammy type of sherry. It's brighter, a little bit more spice. There's notes of that deeper, richer cooked fig thing going on, but there's enough spice surrounding it that it just kind of seems brighter and proofier, maybe. Oh my gosh, dude, guys, I don't have the audio set up right here. This probably sounds like crap. Give me a second. I'm sorry, guys. I never even plugged in the proper mics. Let's see if I can fix this on the fly here. Testing. Can you hear me? All right. Well, hopefully you guys can still hear me. Audio sounds perfect already. Really? Okay. Well, I just plugged it. Does it sound the same? Sounds fine. Okay. Well, it should be. Let me see. Let me make sure I've selected the right thing here. Okay. Well, I don't know. Let me know if that sounds any different. But okay, distant echo, but otherwise good. Sounds the same. Foo. I don't know what I'm doing. Hang on. Let me. Let me try this one. Main. Okay, much better. Now the echo is gone. There you go. It's great. Now, okay, cool. Well, I changed it a second time, so hopefully I didn't screw anything up. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I was staring here at this USB cable. I'm like, why is that unplugged? And I'm like, wait, how come I can see the volume bars moving? Okay. You don't understand, man. Like, with my kind of like production OCD stuff, like, that's gonna bother me. Sounds like Portland. All right, hopefully it still sounds good. Hopefully I didn't screw up. Okay, let's go. Let me try this. Old particular. I'm digging that nose. Glen Turret. Ooh, wow. A lot of spice. Oh, man. Yeah, that is true. Well, I think people with like bad OCD get annoyed when people say, "Oh, I'm OCD about that." But I just want it, if you have the capabilities and we have the mics and we have the little audio thingy, we've got the cameras, we've got the lights. Like, you know what? I want to have it sound and look right. It's you shouldn't be able to see the microphones. You shouldn't be able to see the lights. It should look like 1980s television in my head. I don't know. I'm just weird. There you go. Yeah, he loves In Flames. It was funny, Richie. My year-end Spotify recap. It was not even close. It was Halo Effect. Was like way more than anything else. So it's like that's like all former members of In Flames anyway, which is awesome. And if you haven't listened to them, you should, because if you like In Flames, you would absolutely love it. Okay, I'm gonna scroll up because there's a lot of crap in this chat now, and see what I missed here. Yeah, there's a ton of the Mac 110 out there. Yeah, they made a lot of this, and I feel like you can kind of tell, but I still think it's worth picking up. I really do like it. The party has officially started. Okay, I read all this already. Okay, Bird335 says, "Yo, Christmas Day here now. Merry Christmas to the Curiosity Public gang and other viewers." Where are you, Bird? Are you in the future? Are you like in Australia or something? Let us know. I have Bomburgers PFG. I'm gonna crack tomorrow. That sounds good. Peter says refill sherry works better over 15 years, in my opinion. That's an interesting thought. I had not thought of that before. I always think, you just get a different level of intensity, I feel like, with the sherry influence, with the refill. I feel like I get more spice. It works well. It's a nicely balanced. You'd still call this a very sherry influenced Scotch. I don't know that it would reach the level in my brain of like sherry bomb per se. Interesting. Okay, so here's all the comments about the sound. Still scrolling here. Yeah, I don't even know. I think it was off my laptop's mic, like built-in mic. So, okay, Picard's in the house. What's up? Sipping on a Charleston cocktail right now. We'll probably jump to something peated later. So you are in the peated Christmas sipping camp. That's. I think there's a divide here among the Scotch Christmas drinkers. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, this time of year is always. It's always the sherry. I got to go for the sherry bombs. The bigger the sherry bomb, the better. Okay, then I fix the audio. Where are we in the chat here? Sounds like Portland. Dylan is saying I have a problem, which I already know. It's weird because this is also true. I really cannot hear very well at all out of my right ear. Talk about In Flames. Like, yes, it's a lot of that. And playing my guitar way too loud and always sitting with this side to the amp was not a good idea for decades. Yeah. I need one of those. Jason says, I make audio gear for a living. I understand what it is to obsess for 3 weeks over something 90% of other people. Thank you. Thank you for speaking my language here. I'm not even at any kind of level where you are. I just want things to sound good. And I get so frustrated when they don't. And even like, I'm always frustrated with the live streams because the streaming software, number one, the video never looks as good and the audio never sounds as good just because it's got to go through whatever encoders the streaming software uses. And I do a lot of post-processing on our audio anyway, because I just am not happy. This is an echoey room and we've done everything we can. Again, this pisses Dylan off because there's like sound foam and blankets everywhere in here. And he's just like annoyed. We put this tablecloth down on the surface because this is the tabletop was very reflective. Anyway. His summary says that he listens to devil music. All right, awesome, Richie. Dylan says, I'm late, so can you start Overdutch? Yeah, that's called the recap at the end. You missed the 2025 and the 2023 Four Roses. You remember the anecdote about the 2023, because this is the one I tried in front of Brent Elliott, and I wasn't quite over the line at that point. I got there later that night, and I probably made a fool of myself in front of some other master distillers, but that's another story. Dylan's told that story already. The Mac 12 110 is a buy. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. It's totally, I mean, especially if they don't do it again. You're going to regret not picking up a bottle. It seems like they're going to keep doing it. That's kind of like, I don't have any evidence. I feel like they just made a lot, and I think they're going to keep doing it. All right, Bert is in New Zealand. All right, so it is Christmas there. Well, Merry Christmas to you. What time is it in New Zealand? Let me ask Google. What time is it in New Zealand? It's 3:47 p.m. on Christmas Day in Wellington. Awesome. Well, that's awesome. You're literally talking to us from the future. Okay, let's see. Scrolling here. I have not caught up yet, guys. Sorry. All right, Bird is working my way through Aberlour Abuna and Aberlour 18, both delicious sherry bombs. Great choices. Great choices. Yeah, we are working on that Aberlour drink through. Gray Moser 630 says, I think you should try Macolony Nebreich single malt. Very good Canadian whiskey. You know, it was interesting. I was looking at single malts earlier today, and I mean, we have a few, not a lot, but we have at least a few different American single malts. And I was thinking it would be a fun blind to do, because a lot of the big distilleries are putting them out now, and a lot of smaller distilleries have been doing it for a while, like Westland and Stranahan's. And it would be kind of interesting to see, are the legacy distillers that are now doing it producing something that's as good, and then throwing in like a similar profile Scotch from a legacy Scotch distiller or a big Scotch distiller. Peter moved over to an Old Pulteney 25, not my favorite, but extremely drinkable. Oh, Pete and Sherry together are my favorite for Christmas. Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe I should do some Highland Park for my Christmas pour. Maybe I should grab one of my 25s. I've been looking for an excuse to go back into this really old 25-year Highland Park. I don't know. Maybe it is the perfect time. That's a good idea. Oh man. Any thoughts on Redemption 18 or the Blade and Bow 30? Have not seen a ton of reviews, but the few that are out there, big time praise. Haven't tried either one. Funny story about Blade and Bow. It was actually when Blade and Bow first came out with their regular bourbon, we used that for one of our test videos when we first started the Bourbon Guild. Before we started it, there's like maybe 4 test videos we did. We did Blade and Bow in one of them, and we were all just like bewildered as to how that. Or did we do that with Bourbon Guild? Did we actually release that? I can't remember. It was like almost 10 years ago now, right? No, 8 years ago? Too long. Anyway, I've not tried either one of them, but I've heard people rave about the 25-year, or sorry, the 30-year. Don't drink that 25. Yeah, you still haven't tried that Highland Park 25, Dylan. Correct. 3:47 in the afternoon on Christmas Day, making me want to crack something. Yeah, we are here to be a bad influence. Totally should crack into that HB 25 tonight. See, the problem is I'm probably not going to have anything later tonight because we're doing a Christmas brunch tomorrow. So it's great because then I've got all evening tomorrow to do whatever the hell I want. So, but I do need to wake up relatively early. So might save it for tomorrow. Blade and Bow was Bourbon Guild. You still have that bottle? You should try it. See if it's any good still. For sentimental reasons. It's crap. All right, Gray Moser says, the best Scotch, in my opinion, is Highland Park 18. I love Highland Park, so I can't disagree with you. Although I will say I like the 25 more, but I can't say it's the best because it's too expensive, whereas the 18 is a little bit more reasonable. All right, let me give this another taste, and then we'll get into the final pour of the night. Let me put the poll up. Oh, the poll's been up. I'm dumb. And I was not wrong. I like how close Brandy is to winning this poll too, guys. Come on. It's been going for 27 minutes. I think 45 votes. How many people do we have in here right now? We're 57 people. So if you haven't voted, maybe we can get Brandy to surpass Tequila. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens, guys. I'll let it go for another couple minutes. Hopefully not oxidized into the blade and boat. Probably, I don't know, sneaking suspicion it's probably undrinkable. Yeah, this has grown on me. I mean, this is also just like the kind of mood I'm in. That's great. I don't know how much this was. It's really enjoyable. I have a feeling I would probably end up saying it's not worth the price because it's just like an easy sipper, despite the fact that it's 55.8% alcohol. It would be very interesting in the context of a Glenturret drink through. So maybe we need to do that. I don't think we have any bottles of regular Glenturret. You don't see a ton of it, in the US, but you see it everywhere else. All right, guys. So I said I'd give it a couple more minutes. Let's see. Nothing changed. Tequila is still in the lead. 42% to 38%. But I like the love that the Brandy got. I still may do that at the very end. Let's see. So for the tequilas, get ready to type what you would like to see between these, if you have any preferences. So I've got a Three Amigos Organic Blanco. I think this is Dylan's again. I have no idea anything about it. I just saw it in our unopened bottles set up and said, all right, that needs to be opened. I've got a bottle I'm very familiar with, which is the Don Pilar Añejo. I'm going to take it out of the box so you can see it. And then I've got, the Cascanes Joven. So this was a bottle they did when they were still producing out of the Atanasio distillery. So this is NOM 1599. I think they're like 16 something now. They did this Joven, and we went to great lengths to get this bottle because we were going to do a Cascanes drink through that never materialized for some reason. So if you guys have any thoughts on this, type it in the comments as quickly as you can because I'm about to crack into one, and I think I know which one I want to crack into. So let's see. What's in the chat here? Wait, is it on Three Amigos? I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know, Dylan. If you're still in the chat, where did you get this Three Amigos? Picard says, skip the Three Amigos. I've had the Blanco and the Añejo, and they were both terrible. Good to know. Go for the rubber flavored tequila. Well, it didn't taste like rubber when they were producing out of Atanasio, so they were putting out some really nice stuff from there. So not the Three Amigos. All right, I'm going to take Three Amigos off the table. See, now I'm more curious about that than either of these because I've had the Don Pilar before. I'm most curious about the Cascanes, and since we don't have anybody rooting for the Don Pilar, which I still think is probably one of the better bargain añejos out there. Wow, this bottle looks all messed up. They have it at Costco sometimes. It's a good price point too, even better price point. So, all right, well, the Cascanes Joven it is, and like I said, they did this. Looks like a 2022 release, 100 proof. I think it's a blend of like Blancos and Añejos. I don't know if it says on here what they actually did. And generally, I mean, that's generally what Hovens are, is blends of various aged products. You know, obviously there's color to it, so there's something aged in here. And at 100 proof, not bad. I'm gonna get this poured. We still may do a Cascanes drink through, but I almost feel like we've given them enough, you know, time on our channel. But let's see. Let's get this poured. All right, let's let that open up a little bit. I'm gonna check back in with the chat. I skipped a bunch of stuff to see what people thought about what I should crack into. So let me see where I was here. Scrolling back up. Peter says, Covalent Soloist and Emirate single malts are always worth a try. Cask heavy malts. Richie says, the regular Blade and Bow is okay, and for me, not worth a second buy. Soloist are almost always fantastic. Yeah, I mean, I really want to do a Covalent drink through, but I mean, we have a couple, but it's just such a big investment. We'll probably get to it eventually. Dutch, do you hunt for bottles? I used to, but don't anymore for several years. I don't do it much. I check regularly. I do a lot more online now. Like, I just don't spend the time to get in the car and drive around to the spots I used to hit. It's time consuming, and you know, the way that things have kind of shaken out for our channel, like, we were never the first people to review things anyway, pretty often. And so it's not worth the time investment and the money investment for us to try to get that bottle first, because who knows when we're going to be able to record a review of it. And by the time we do it, it's irrelevant maybe, or people don't care. So I don't know. I think I have pumped the brakes on trying to get things when they're new. But you know, sometimes something will come up and I'm like, oh, I really want to get that. And I'll, like the Macallan 12, 110 proof. I was pretty anxious to get that and try it. So, all right. Richie says, other Richie says, Merry Christmas, Dutch. Having E.H. Taylor small batch. Very nice. Merry Christmas to you as well. Peter says, my tequila collection consists of one bottle shaped like a Maya pyramid. I don't have high hopes for that one, but maybe it's good. Who knows? Dylan says, I got it as a part of a package to get a birthday bourbon, the Three Amigos. Okay, so that's why it's on our shelves. It is organic. It is NOM 1570. What else is made at NOM 1570? Let's see. Rock and roll tequila coffee. So the only things that come up are tequilas that are in the shape of a guitar. So that's not a good sign. Three Amigos, Gonzalez 1939. Never heard of that one. Grand Conciliar and LE Latino Especial. I haven't heard of any of these. So looks like a lot of contract distilling, autoclave, roller mill, stainless steel. Yeah, you never know though. Pick one and follow it up with Three Amigos. No, I'm not gonna do that. Bird says, for tequila, I've been drinking the Jose Cuervo Tradicional Repo recently and pleasantly surprised. Tastes like a decent step up from the regular Cuervo. I don't know that one. Oh, the Tradicional. I think that. Okay, so I know that's the one in the slightly different bottle. I mean, I don't know how the tequila market is in New Zealand, but there's better tequila. There's better stuff out there for you. Check out some of our tequila videos. I mean, it's just, you know, Cuervo's not really, I don't think it's the best. It's Dave is headed to dinner. Night, everyone, and have a Merry Christmas. Same to you. Enjoy your dinner. Have a good one. They can be had for much better prices overseas, Dutch, even in this era of tariffs. Oh, are we talking about the Macallan or the What was I talking about that was expensive? Highland Park 18. So some of the old bottlings you have found are amazing, particularly the Glenmorangie 90s bottling, if I recall correctly. Yeah, that was fascinating. So that was in Portugal. There was a whiskey museum. I took some video and pictures. I was thinking about making a video out of it, but I didn't really have enough content of it. It was a whiskey museum. This guy had this crazy, it was like in a business area. So I had to like take a cab out of the city. And I think Jules was on that trip too, and somebody else. And we went out there. And in the front of it, there's like a shop, and then you go to the back and you can walk through the whiskey museum. And it was crazy. I mean, like some amazing bottles. And in the shop, they had a little section of older Scotch bottlings, and that was one. And I remember the price wasn't too crazy, and I was like, all right, I'm on vacation. I want to get something to remember it. And I picked that up, and that was a fun pour. Yeah. All right, so Picard says, I like y'all's focus. I don't care about new stuff because I can rarely get anything popular around here. Yeah. That's what we do. It's partly out of necessity and partly because it's, I think there's a little bit more value if we kind of think about things fourth dimensionally. If we review something that's like a one-off, in a couple of years, nobody's going to watch that. Nobody's going to care about that. But the things that are available, the things from legacy brands, like that stuff, it's always going to be, I don't know if I want to say important, but it's always going to be interesting, I think, because people will kind of look at those brands in the years that come and be like, okay, well, what was it like back then? Or I don't know what I'm saying. Just saying that we're right. Dutch refuses to review the tequila that comes in the gun-shaped bottle. If you go buy it, Dylan, we'll review it. How about that? Bring it to the set. You keep saying you're going to give it to Jules for his birthday. So maybe one year we'll film on Jules' birthday and we'll get him ridiculous tequila bottles and then we'll review them. Not a massive fan of tequila. I can't get a lot of taste out of it beyond the service level, even sipping it neat. It's not for everyone, but there's, if you are into whiskey, I think there are places to start with tequila where you might be surprised, but again, there's no reason to get into a new spirit if you're perfectly happy where you are, I'll say, because it just gets more expensive, man. Dutch, I got the Don Fulano Fuerte Blanco high proof bottle this year. Great. Yeah. Fantastic bottle. I think that won our high proof Blanco blind that it was in. I know nothing about tequila. Why is Tears of Llorona so expensive? Well, you are getting 1 liter, and it is quite a process to make it. And when you get to the ages of extra añejo tequilas, even though you might say, well, it's like, 3, 4 years old, 5 years old sometimes. Why is it so expensive? It's also because the agave often takes 5 to 10 years to mature. So when you think about like grain spirits, the grains grow really fast. Like you don't really lose any time waiting for the grain to grow. With the agave, it takes a long time. So when you're looking at like a 4-year-old product, it may be like a 15 to 20-year-old process. And that's why a lot of extra añejo, very good extra añejo, costs a lot more because there's a lot more time involved. Cheaper extra añejos, they're going to be harvesting the agave too young, and they tend to be kind of crappy, not as good. And so if you want quality, it takes time. Same mantra with whiskey, but a lot of that time is before you even get to the distillation, which is kind of crazy. So, and I do think Tears is a worthwhile investment if you're into tequila, or if you have the budget for it. All right, I've been talking too much. I need to drink something. Let's try this Joven. Let's try the nose. Oh man, I gotta change gears again. I thought I said I was not going to be doing all the different spirits during one live stream anymore. Yeah, next year. Okay, so first of all, no rubber, which is excellent. Again, like I said, this is from the Atanasio distillery. They got the oil out of the machine. That is very interesting. Okay, I have to completely change my brain here. Okay, there's obviously a good agave core to this. There's a bit of a briny, kind of earthy element again, Atanasio, if you haven't had regular Atanasio, I think it's actually one of the better Fortaleza-like substitutes. It has a fair amount of earthiness to it and just a lot of really great agave flavor. This is a big bandwidth of agave. You've got everything from the bright, crisp agave to the more cooked agave. There's not a lot else though. I mean, there's not any other particular flavor. There's maybe, like I said, that kind of briny olive kind of type flavor. The sweetness is very well balanced here. It's not overpowering. It's not candy sweet. It's just kind of that really cooked agave sweetness coming through. Let me give it a taste here. These are the challenging nights for my palate, by the way. Oh, that's nice. Oh, there's a lot going on here. I mean, good spice component comes through on the palate that wasn't really there on the nose. All the things I talked about on the nose are present. That earthy, kind of briny element, it is consistent through the entire process. It's still lingering on the finish. It is very nicely layered in there with the agave and the sweetness. And it's a very nice package. It's very consistent through the tasting, very consistent through the finish. It's a nicely blended product. What can I say? You know, I think all the Cascana stuff that came out from the Atanasio distillery was quite good, and this is no exception to that. I could see the nose being maybe off-putting to some people with that kind of earthy, briny element. Oh, the palate's very nice. I mean, it kind of reads like a Repo, which, you know, I mean, I don't know what the technical limitations or requirements are for Hoven, why they wouldn't just call it a Repo. But I guess because it has Blanco mixed in, you can't. So then it just has to be called a Hoven. So, or maybe somebody in the chat knows. But this is good. I mean, this was, I think they did this as a one-off, and it was really hard for us to find it. And I ordered it from someplace and overpaid for it. And it finally showed up, and I was like, okay. So it came, and then by that point in time, they had already changed distilleries. And we were like, oh, well, we don't want to do a drink through of the stuff from the old distillery. We want to do from the stuff that's current. And then, you know, whatever. Time passed. Feelings were hurt. Rubber was tasted. And that's it. All right, guys. I'm debating doing one last pour. I think I will. The question is, what was in second place? I think the rum. What was it? No. Oh, no. Brandy was in second place. So we'll do a Brandy here to close things out. Which one, though? We have, you guys get comment quickly if you want either of these. Apple Brandy from Laird's. This is a single cask, cask strength apple brandy. Laird's, let's see, this is 60.5%. This is, how old is this? Doesn't say. Oh no, aged 77 months. So that's what, six years and change? I don't know. I can't do math that quickly. And then we also have, wait, no, that's a rum. A Frappan cigar blend. We were talking about cigar blends before. So this is an XO Frappan cigar blend. I don't know. This is Dylan's. The brandy is mine. This is one of Dylan's bottles. I don't know anything about it. I did notice that it was imported by PM Spirits, and PM Spirits has a pretty good reputation, at least in our books, of their spirits. I don't know about all the stuff they import, but this is a product of France. XO Premier Cru, 40% alcohol. Doesn't say anything about no color and no additives. I say that only because I know the PM Spirit stuff that they release under their own brand, they do say that. And I've had this Laird's for a while because, you know, it's kind of interesting. I've seen their regular stuff. I'd never seen this cask strength single barrel before. So that would be an interesting one. Let's see what you guys think. Anybody have anything? If you guys have anything, I can't talk. All right, Picard says go for the apple brandy. Dylan says that's where my front panel went. Dude, it's been sitting on the shelf, literally like right in front of where you stand. Like it was like right there. So I don't know what to tell you, man. Laird's. So that's 2 votes for the Laird's. Drink Dylan's booze. Those Laird's are good. Laird's is the oldest distillery in America. Go for the brandy. I vote for Laird's. Just do both to be on the safe side. I don't think I'm going to do both, especially if I do the Laird's, because this is a pretty high proof one. All right, Dylan, since you were complaining about this, we'll save this for when you're back in town and you can show up for a live stream. Or maybe I'll bring it to Vegas. You want me to do that? We're going to be in Vegas. We've been debating filming again in Vegas, but it's such a time commitment and time and energy commitment that we're not sure. We don't really know what to do yet. We talked about this on the last live, but all right. So I'm going to do this Laird's. Let's take a look at the label there. Good looking label. Single cask selection. As you can see, 121 proof. And there's the back. Single cask selection. That's. I need a glass. I don't have a glass. It is corked and it has a kind of a cool sticker here. Does this say something on it? Produced and bottled in accordance with U.S. government regulations. This is not bottled in bond, but I wonder if it is from a bonded warehouse, because I know Laird's does. I think they do release a bottled in bond brandy, if I remember correctly. Let's see. Man, I've been wanting to try this for so long. Thank you guys for giving me the excuse. All right, let's let that open up for a sec and check in with the chat. I missed a bunch of stuff. Let me scroll up here. All right, I think this is where I was. Talking about Kavalons. Did I check out the done? Oh, yeah, I saw that. Let's see, did I get past this? Ridiculous bottle tequila video would be good. The gun would look weird next to the leg lamp. I agree. I tried a Tommy gun. What I think was in 1911. The bottle was cool, but the juice I'd pass. Yeah, that's generally what happens. Bully says, what's the most expensive bottle where you thought that the price tag was still worth the juice? Well, if we're just talking like MSRP, because in general, secondary prices take pretty much anything. I don't think any of them are really worth it. I think when we reviewed the Hibiki 21, we kind of reluctantly thought it was worth what we paid for that bottle, which I think at the time was like $450. But I would probably, I mean, it's crazy to say, but yeah, that's, still I'd probably pick it up if it was in the $500 range because it's that good. Right now, you're seeing the price maybe at like $6.99. I'm still not picking it up. $5.99, would I pick one up? Probably not. If I didn't have one already, maybe. But again, that's one where it's just so hard to find and it's so good that I really do think it's one where some of the crazy pricing it might be worth it. And I just said I wouldn't pick it up again, but I think if it comes down a little bit more, then I would say yes. In general, I think the Highland Park 25, you can find those for around $600. It's a lot to spend on Scotch, but you pay that much, you do not feel let down. Whereas Ardbeg 25, I think we had to spend $1,000 on that bottle, and it's very good, but that's too much. So I think there's like that at $600 for the Highland Park 25, I didn't feel that down. At the Ardbeg 25 for $1,000, I'm like, that's just too much. So that's also because we spend a lot of time buying alcohol and we spend a lot on it because we're doing this. This was a very expensive bottle of Dewar's 36. Don't think that was worth it. I think that was $1,500, something crazy like that. So yeah, where I think it's worth it, I would probably, off the top of my head, that Hibiki 21 and Highland Park 25. It's also, what do you like? There's some people that might try that Ardbeg 25 and be like, that's the best thing I've ever had. So I don't know. I like both of those bottles a lot. So that's what I would say. And I think objectively, they're very, very good bottles. I think, they hit all the things that we think are important in spirits. So good question, though. I'd love to hear from everybody else in the chat. All right, Picard says, everything you've described is what I've loved about Cascanas. A few times I've tried it, but I have trouble justifying the price, at least here in Dallas, especially when I can get G4 and others easily. Yeah, they do command a premium price. I mean, they do ask a premium price. And given the inconsistency maybe with the cork taint, it's a lot of money to spend. Now, they claim that they will back it up, and if you have an issue with it, they'll replace it and stuff like that. I think they've been telling people that. So good. They should be, and they're doing the right thing. And like I said, they do produce some good stuff. And it's a pity that they had a cork taint issue, but they really did. And they may still, I don't know. I just need to try some new bottles. But we have so many bottles of Cascanas that I'm just like, why am I going to buy another bottle of Cascanas just to see if they got rid of the cork taint? I guess that's kind of what we're here for, but I'm tired of it. All right, let's see. Where were we here? This is everybody voting on the Lairds. Bring it to Vegas. Yeah, I'll bring it to Vegas. I'll try to remember. I'll put it with my bag. Dutch, I had a get. Oh, I had a Germain Robin brandy that was great. Oh, nice. Vegas episodes are awesome. They're fun, man, but they're just a lot of work and they're a lot of editing. We will do one again. I know. Just don't know when. A 15-year-old apple brandy this week. I got a 15-year-old apple brandy this week from Clear Creek in Oregon. It's unbelievable. Awesome. So yeah, WT says probably Japanese whiskey turret. Call it. Yeah. I mean, it's the premium Japanese whiskey stuff is just, it's good, man. It's good. And it's crazy priced. Let me give this a nosing. Whoa. For 122 proof, 121 proof, this does not smell like it. It smells very mild. Let me give it a sip here. Actually, let me cleanse the palate a little bit. Whew. Talk about challenging my palate. This is like, I've had like 3-4 things and they're so completely different. I mean, up front, it kind of feels like it's kind of thin on the front of the palate. And then you're kind of just hit with this almost like an apple vapor that kind of consumes everything. It's very crisp. It's kind of refreshing. I'm gonna need to come back to this in a second. I'll need to process that a little bit and check with the chat. Hibiki 21 sells on Unicorn weekly for $550 to $600. So like what I said about secondary prices for stuff not being worth it. I think that's like Costco has it. When Costco gets it, at least in California, it's like $640. So I can't think that that's too far from MSRP. So that's crazy that I guess people get it in Japan and sell it on Unicorn for less than that and still make a profit. I don't know. Would I pay $550 for another bottle of Hibiki 21? I would be tempted. But I mean, at $4.99, now I'm like, okay, I probably would. And again, it's one of those things that's where, so number one, you have to figure out your budget. And if you have budget for premium high-end stuff, you really start to have to think about, okay, well, what's worth it to me? And when you already have a bottle, getting that backup, yeah, it's nice to have it. But there's also this part of me that knows, or at least feels, that the Japanese whiskey market prices are going to come down a little bit in the coming couple of years. So I'm also kind of thinking, well, I'm just going to wait a little while. So okay, I have to admit that after trying a $2,300 Brora, what is that? I don't know. I did go look for a bottle. I don't know what is Brora? Brora? Luxury Scottish cashmere and clothing. Is it also a Scotch? Oh, it is a Scotch. Okay. Interesting. I don't know that distillery. Oh, originally owned by Clynelish. So is it a closed distillery? Okay, operated between 1819 and 1983 before being mothballed until 2021. Cool. Yeah, I mean, you have some like the really highly aged stuff, and especially with Scotch, like, I mean, it just becomes an experience, I feel like. $200 for the 375 milliliter Dewar's 32. That's like bargain, man. You know, and yeah, I would definitely pick up another. I mean, I have like 3 or 4 bottles of that in my bunker, because I did buy them when they were still priced reasonably. Some of the prices I've seen for that are crazy, man. So I'm hoping that's one that gets hit by some of these major sales you're seeing on Scotch. I mean, blended Scotch, I think you're seeing some really good prices. Secondary prices are going to come down if Beam is shutting down production. There's an oversupply of whiskey. Yeah, I agree. Lee's now drinking Wild Turkey 12, multitasking, watching Cal beating Hawaii third quarter in Dutch. What's more interesting? Come on, football game's definitely more interesting than this. Or you could just have the sound on from this live stream and watch the game. I wonder how that would go. Probably not very well. I do know that there are many people that watch our episodes. Sorry, just listen to our episodes, and they always ask us, "Hey, when you're talking about something in a drink through, don't say this and just point to it. Say what it is, so I know." And I get that, but I also do feel like our videos are definitely created to be watched. And it's great if you listen to them, don't get me wrong. Click on them as many times as you can. But I think you can still get a decent amount from just the audio, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I'm analyzing this on the fly. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. All right, my Costco still got that Weller Millennium for a cool $6,800. Dang, man. That stuff is sitting. Because I've seen it in grocery stores for less than that now. Crazy stuff. You should try the Highland Park 30. I've tried it at a whiskey event. And it was not the right thing to do because it was towards the end of the event. And it was one where you had to get like tokens to try like the really high end stuff. And yeah, I'd need to try it again on a clean, fresh palate, I'll say it. Laird's is a little thin in the body, but the rest of that sounds about right. Skog says, absolutely love your channel. I'm sipping on some Glenmorangie 18. Well, welcome to the party and great choice. That Dewar's 32 is $550 near me. And so, yeah, I've been seeing it like in that $400 range, which is crazy. So it's Old Clynelish, basically, yeah. A Ghost Distillery. That one was 38 years old and just unreal. Yeah, man. I mean, for me, that's like where that mouthfeel thing. If you've had like, I mean, you probably, if you try those really old scotches, it's the mouthfeel. It's just the fact, even though the flavors may be whatever, like it's how they coat the palate more than anything else. For me, at least, that is the sign of greatness with them. And that's just that's that component that I don't think you can replicate without giving it the time in the barrel. So, okay, I've tried a pour of Brewer before, but at that price, I'd go for Macallan 25. Interesting. All right, Picard, good to see you on here. Thank you, and have a very Merry Christmas. See you on the Discord. Sean's in the house. What's up? Merry Christmas to you. Bourbon before bacon, says Eagle Rare 107 in my local today. ER 107? Eagle Rare 17, I'm guessing. Maybe? Okay, I don't know. I still don't watch how you will see Dylan look up stuff on his... I still don't watch. How will you... If you... Wow. See, this is... I can't read. If you don't watch, how will you see Dylan look up stuff in his computer? Yes, exactly. Oh, man. All right. MC1 says, Dutch, thanks for doing the stream. Is Glenmorangie Signet something you like, or is that too sweet for you? No, I love Glenmorangie Signet. It's that chocolate thing that it's got that I love. It's fantastic. Okay, let me give this one more sip because this was very interesting. It's very bright and kind of, I feel like I'd want this on ice almost. It'd be like juice. Oof. Yeah, that's different than everything I've had tonight. It's very bright and appley, and like it's a sensation you don't get from a lot of other spirits, which is just like almost like this gas. It's like the after aroma. It's almost like it's very ethereal tasting, but you get this kind of like vapor of apple after the fact. It's very nice. I think this would be a gem for mixologists, honestly. All right, guys. I am close to being done here. I'm going to go back through everything we opened tonight and do a little recap here. I think I'm going to go in reverse order. And check in with the chat one last time here before I do that. All right, where were we? Okay, so it was just regular Eagle Rare going for 107 bucks. What the heck, dude? Like, really? I don't know where you're based, but there are areas where Eagle Rare is available at MSRP still, and for anywhere to charge 107 bucks for it, they're just trying to get the last bit of money out of the boom that they can. Raf Real Life is sipping on a Maker's Mark Private Selection bourbon or Scotch for Christmas. Yeah, we talked about this earlier, but I'm generally a sherry influenced, sherry bomb Scotch person for Christmas. Merry Christmas, Dutch. Sipping on Baron de Rothschild Lafite Cognac. Sorry about the corks on the bottles I sent you. Hey, it's Dez. What's up, Dez? Yes, Dez. Very, very graciously. I thought those bottles were still here. That's why I'm looking over here. He sent us the very awesome old Glenfiddich bottles that we featured on the drink through. Where are they? I finally found like little corks for them too. I thought I put them right back over here, but I must have moved them somewhere, or maybe Jules moved them. You guys just want to stare at the back of my head while I try to find them? That's weird. I could have sworn they were here. Well, I know this is here. Oh, I put them back in here. That's why. So yeah, he sent us these, and I saved this. I saved the busted corks in here for some reason. But yeah, Des sent us these really, really awesome little time capsules of old Glenfiddich, and I got these really nice little silicone stoppers for them. So there's still decent. Maybe we'll bring these to one of our events in the future so you guys can try them too. But it was an awesome trip to be able to compare these to the new ones. Thanks again for doing that, man. That was absolutely incredible. But yeah, this has a place on our shelf up here. So I don't know, you can't see it in this shot, but in our normal full screen shot, you can see it sitting up there. So All right, you can find Eagle Rare under $50. Lots of places in SoCal. Dylan won't run it. Yeah, you can find it a lot of places. William Hall in the house. So you're based in Boston. So Boston, somewhere in Boston was selling it for $107. That's crazy, man. I remember you guys complaining about the corks. Yeah, I mean, it just happens. It just happens. They look like the tops on most white sauce bottles. Yeah, they kind of do. Like those synthetic silicone stoppers you find. They just come in different sizes for different colors for different sizes. I thought I had the little box of them here somewhere, but I don't know where I put it. All right, so recap, guys. We're doing a recap. We just did the Lairds, which was very interesting, very different. Before that, I did the Cascanes Joven. Let's see if it's changed at all. Oh, it's a very nice nose. I mean, again, this is from their old distillery when they were, contracting with contracting with Atanasio, which is a fantastic brand. And this is very good. I wouldn't overpay for it. It's just kind of an interesting little time capsule. It's very nice. It's very nice. Fantastic. And this is back when they could put additive free on bottles, which you can't do anymore because CRT says you shouldn't be able to say that. Okay. And then before that, we did our only Scotch of the night, which was not that. Oh, it was this, which I actually put a sticker on there. This is a Glenturret 17-year old particular single cask. Interesting, actually. I feel like it's gotten almost like the sherry has dissipated a little bit, which usually I find the opposite to happen. Or it could just be that my palate and my nose are blown out now. Yeah, it definitely smells less sherry influence now. It's like the sherry is dissipated somehow. Weird. All right. Still very good. Very sippable. Good amount of spice. Good proof point. Doesn't drink hot. Doesn't drink like it's 55.8% to me. Very drinkable. This is kind of one of those weird places for Scotch. In general, I feel like things that are just have a touch of sherry, I view those as like the band with the very drinkable Scotch, right? It's not off-putting to people who don't like peat, but it's not going to satisfy people that want a sherry bomb. So it's good. It's good. It's drinkable. I feel like the other range, which is the ones that have a little bit of peat, a little bit of sherry, or sometimes a lot of sherry and a decent amount of peat, or a lot of sherry and a little bit of peat, that's kind of maybe more interesting to me. And then the sherry bombs and the peat bombs are also very interesting. But this is a weird, I've always felt like refill sherry stuff is kind of in a weird spot. It just kind of tastes like Glenlivet, which is not bad. It's good. It tastes good. I mean, heck, Glenlivet has won a ton of our blinds. I mean, there's not a lot to complain about, other than I want something a little bit more intense down either end of the spectrum. Jules is probably huddled up near a warm fireplace and Christmas tree, sipping on some good bourbon, scribbling his New Year's resolutions down. He's probably drinking peated Scotch, actually. That would be my guess around this time of year. I know he's just busy because he's got like a ton of relatives in town, and he's got to be a host. So he was going to try to get away and come do the live, but he just couldn't make it happen. So it's refilled. You also have to figure out if they reseason. Yeah, it doesn't say it's been reseasoned. I mean, I don't know if Old Particular discloses that when they do it. I mean, it says no coloring, and it's pretty dark, but it's also 17 years old. So, I mean, maybe they reseasoned it, maybe not. I mean, what was Dylan's lame excuse? I don't know. Dylan was in the chat a minute ago. Maybe he can chime in. Dylan doesn't give excuses anymore. He's just like, no. He just doesn't respond. Okay, guys. So closing this out, back to the two that I started the stream with, the 2023 and the 2025 Four Roses limited edition small batch bourbons. They honestly were a little bit, I don't want to say lackluster to me when I tried them first. They just didn't taste like they had fully developed, like they needed time. So they've had almost an hour and a half to open up. Let's see if anything's changed. Now, this time I'm going to do the 2023 first. See, I remembered. Because I felt like the oakiness of the 25 kind of overpowered the 2023 when I went in that order, 2025 and then 2023. Starting with the 2023 this time, nose. Sweet, floral. It's almost like a fruit syrup. Kind of berries, like almost like strawberry. But that floral component is so nice on the nose. Oh man, that's great. Palate. Still a little chaotic, honestly. Still hard for me to identify an anchor flavor. I would not trust my palate at this point of an hour and a half with Scotch, apple brandy, and tequila in the mix. Let me give it one more sip, see if my palate can pick anything up. It's pretty spicy. It's punchy. I'm not spending $200-300 on this bottle in the future. I mean, on this particular one, I wouldn't. It's not one I would be like, oh, I need a backup of it. I could see it improving again with time, and also coming to it with a fresh palate could be very interesting. But yeah, not my favorite right now. I don't know. It's just not doing it for me. All right, let's close things out here. The 2025 Four Roses limited edition small batch. And I will check in on the chat one more time. Weird. Now I prefer the nose of the 2023. Well, I mean, they're kind of similar. Yeah. I mean, if you guys watched the beginning of the stream, you know, the 2025 I thought was a much better nose than the 2023. Now, it's hard to distinguish. Of course, it could be an hour and a half of trying a bunch of crazy stuff. So there's that. Let's try it. Whew, there's the oak again, man. This is very oaky. I've had a lot of these. I can't recall having one that is this much oak. I really can't. I am now very much looking forward to our drink through of these, because I know these will have a little bit of more time with air in them. And I think ending on this one with all this oak, I don't know if I'll remember it when we do the drink through, but man, it to me, it's actually tasting much better than the 2023 to me. And it could be the fact that this 2025 can stand up not only to the 2023, but all the other things I've tried tonight. It has a very distinctive anchor flavor, which is that oak. It's pretty well balanced. Honestly, could use a little more of the bright sweetness of the 23 to help balance out that oak, but to me, it's a better sipping experience, the 2025. So there you guys have it. We've been going for over an hour and a half. There's 59 people here still in the chat. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I will check in with the chat one more time here, and then I will be closing things out. I can give you guys a little preview of the coming weeks if you would like. But let me check in with the chat first. All right. I think they can be, I'm going to try to read more carefully, guys. I'm sorry. I think they can be chaotic because they are a true blend, different years and yeasts, also overpriced now. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've had ones that just are better balanced than both of these. Quite frankly, now with the 2023, 2024, and the 2025, I don't feel like any of them would rank that high for me. I mean, the 2017 was the first one I owned, and maybe it's sentimental, maybe it's rose-colored glasses, but I just remember loving it. And luckily, there's still enough left that we can do a drink through with it. I got this in Amsterdam. I was in Amsterdam, and I bought it and proceeded to probably drink like more than half of it while I was on that trip. Quite frankly, I don't know how it got this low. I must have just kept going back to it. But anyway, I'm glad I have enough for a drink through, and getting to try the 2020 and all the other stuff will be, I think, good in that context. Drinking alone is wild. Are you saying because you're doing that or because I'm doing it? Because it is wild. I agree. He's got 50. There you go. Thanks for streaming, Dutch. Merry Christmas to you too. About to shut it down here. Lisa says, Kalikimaka 2020, 26. Oh, 20,000. Yeah, we will probably hit 20,000. Maybe right before 2026, maybe right after it. We're really close, and we tend to get about 5 or so subscribers, anywhere from like 3 to 10 subscribers a day. So where are we now? We're at 19,938 subscribers. So odds are we will be very close by New Year's. So I don't know if we're happy about that or not. We were going to start a whole campaign to keep us below 20,000, but I don't know. Julio and Diana say, what's your favorite tequila of the year? What's your tequila of the year? Well, I just finished editing our best of 2025 video. It will drop next week, probably on Monday or Tuesday, and you'll get to see it. I will give you a hint. It's behind me. You can see part of it right now, but that's all I'm going to say. Yeah, we hate doing that at the end of the year. What's our best of the year? Because we're, I don't know, I think we're just jaded. Bookmark. Hey, I kind of answered it, right? Picked up Volcan Blanco. I guess it won gold in some competition. Hey, I'm curious what you think about it, actually. And I don't know. I mean, like, I hear a lot of people when we say how much we like it, kind of crap on it. And I'm like, have you really tried it? Have you tried it and compared it blind to other things? I don't know. I think there's a little bit of bias involved, but also there's preference. Some people just want more of a spice hit. They don't want the bright agave. I think for a bright agave Blanco, it's hard to beat. Okay, guys. So coming up, like I said, we got the end of the year recap, the 2025 best of. We do our best Scotch with. Did we do a runner-up for Scotch? I don't remember. We do our best bourbon. We gave a couple of runners up, and then we do our best tequila with a runner-up as well. And that should be coming out next week. And then we got a video on this bad boy, the Caballito Cerrero Puntas, coming out shortly after that, probably first week of the new year. I will probably rush the Knob Creek 21 drink through that we did of the Knob Creek, kind of culminating in that fresh crack of the 21, because we just get a lot of questions about it. It's either that or the birthday bourbon 2025. I don't know. So it might be kind of bourbon heavy for the first couple of weeks of the new year. But we got a lot more coming. We got another cognac blind we did. We did an XO blind. We've got round 3 of our Repo tequila blind. So coming up, you guys should stay tuned. Thank you to all of you guys for tuning in tonight and hanging out on Christmas Eve, guys. Hope you guys have a great day tomorrow. Hope that you're able to celebrate if you do celebrate, and hope you're able to pour something special to celebrate if you can. And I'm not sure when our next live stream is going to be. We will all actually be out in Vegas, so we'll probably try to film some fresh cracks at least while we're out there. Maybe we'll do a short live. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But anyway, guys, have a great Christmas and a great New Year's if I don't do a live before then, which I'm pretty sure I won't. So see you all in 2026 and stay curious.